Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
We got number 80 again. We had to adjust the numbers with the signing of Logan Thomas. That bumped some of these players up. But we're up to number 80 again for Kamon Hall, who originally came in number 79. But we had to adjust because Raymond Johnson III, who we already did a show, who was ranked much, much later, was replaced on the roster. And so we always have to be kind of fluent with this. But at number 80 again, we get cornerback Kamon Hall coming in. Again, was voted 79 on the original rankings list with a composite score of 317 off the 4 separate rankings, 1 through 91. His highest number was 67, lowest 87. And you look at kind of what he brings, it's a lot of history and it's a lot of experience on teams. Not much game time experience. Stop me if you heard this before. The 49ers are changing the way they're building the back end of their roster. They used to do it with all undrafted free agents. Now it's a few select undrafted free agents, but it's a whole lot of guys that know how to be a pro, but maybe haven't gotten that chance in the games yet. So, Kamon Hall, wearing jersey number 38, this year, the old Demo number, 5'11", 190. He fits the mold, the prototype that the Niners like for DBs, as close to 200 pounds, 6 foot as you can get. Short arms, 29.5 inch. Don't like that. 26 years old. 4'5", 40. That's plus. 158 10-yard, that's plus. 7'1", 5'3" cone, shaky a little bit. 10'3" broad, great. 13 bench press reps. He's going into his 5th season. Man, this isn't a name that a lot of 49ers fans will be familiar with, but he's put together a decent career, traveling around practice squad to practice squad to practice squad, and one of those things that I'm just like, man, you've got to love what he's been able to accomplish. You really have. Now, he's from small town Calhoun City in northwest Mississippi. Hasn't really, super small town. He was given the key to the city. It had a Kamon Hall day and all that stuff, which is so cool. And, props to him. You come out of a small town like this, and he goes back every year, throws football camps. He's really, really big there, and I love it. Was a 0-star recruit and got one college offer to Itawamba Community College. This dude clawed his way into where he is now. No doubt about it. And, he was asked, we found an old interview, and again, I got to give credit to Josh, Oscar, and Dave, the executive producers of this series. Listen to this quote. He was asked, what was the toughest obstacle he's ever overcome? He said, quote, not being highly recruited and only having one offer out of high school. I overcame this adversity by working hard, having dedication, determination, discipline, like the alliteration there, on and off the field, continuing to prove people wrong and excelling at every level. End quote. I freaking love that, man. It's again, you get to the back end of these stories, and you're just like, yeah. This guy's been on 5 teams, 5 years, one college offer, went to, Itawamba Community College, then transferred to University of North Texas, the Mean Green, and just has fought, just continued to fight his way and scrap his way into the NFL. Love it. He was first team all-conference in 2018, Conference USA, member of the team's leadership council that they had at UNT. You love that. Again, given the key to Calhoun City, which is really, really cool. Talked about the football camp. But now if we look at kind of what he's done in the NFL, it's all been on special teams, which, all right. Now I'm liking this. 334 special team snaps in the NFL in his career, only 21 defensive snaps. Like, that's what he's going to be. Now, let's go through his NFL trajectory. He was signed as an undrafted free agent in 2019 by the Chargers. And, you look at, that's Gus Bradley. Runs a very similar scheme that the 49ers run. Then he goes to the Minnesota Vikings in 2020. Gary Kubiak, Clint Kubiak. Now they're with us. Catches on for the Saints for a little while, Dallas for a little while, then back-to-back years with the Chargers again, but a new regime. Guess who the head coach was? Brandon Staley, who's now with the Niners. So this is another one of those kind of new Brandon Staley. I've got experience. Trust me, he fits. This is a guy you want around. Leonard Floyd's the prominent one that everybody wants to talk about. But then you look at Kamon Hall. Is he going to make the roster? Probably not. But he's somebody that this coaching staff has a lot of ties to with the Kubiak brothers, Gus Bradley, Brandon Staley. There's a lot of overlap there. And so you're getting somebody on the back end of your roster in Kamon Hall that knows how to do this. It has experience doing this, just not in the games. But he's been through the training camps, the mini camps, all the preseasons. He's somebody that's going to fit in. You don't have to worry about teaching him how to walk. He already knows. So I'm curious to see if this approach is going to stick. But I kind of like it. Ain't going to lie. He's playing 18 games in his career. And if you look at his career earnings, $1.3 million. Kamon Hall, I salute you, my friend. Respect. Now, let's look at the cornerback depth chart. What is he going to have to overcome to make this roster? It's pretty rough. The 49ers are pretty loaded at cornerback. I don't know the last time we could say that. It's steadily improved over the last 3 to 4 years. But now you have an unreal amount of depth. That's what's crazy. Usually the 49ers keep 5 to 6 corners on their 53-man roster, at least their initial one, right? So let's go through them. Here are the locks. And, man, I could have put 5 or 6 locks, to be honest with you. Charvarius Ward, lock. Diamador Lenore, lock. Renardo Green, lock. Isaac Yiadom, lock. You look at that contract, I mean, that they don't mind if he starts. That's 4 locks. Could have added more. Darrell Luter Jr. I put on the next level. Rock Ya-Sin put on the next level. Ambry Thomas put on the next level. Chase Lucas put on that next level. And then there's a whole nother tier below that with Samuel Womack. Again, healthy scratch all through the playoffs. Cost him in the Super Bowl with the fumbled punt off the foot of the rookie Darrell Luter Jr. And Kamon Hall. He's going to have to beat a lot of dudes. And I don't know. I struggle finding a way for him to even make the practice squad because you just got all these stinking names. Now, let's say Rock Ya-Sin and Ambry Thomas don't make the 53 but get picked up elsewhere, which probably will take place. Well, okay, that kind of vaults Kamon Hall up to a possible practice squad in October, November if an injury happens or something along those lines. So I like that he's being brought into the locker room and kind of everything that they got going on. But I'm just being honest, I struggle with how this is going to make the roster. But for number 80, part 2, we got Kamon Hall. His story's awesome, easy to root for, and I'm glad that he brings experience to the back end of this cornerback class, but not a lot of playing time. But I do like the way that they're building now. I really, really do. Excited to see what's going for us. We're just going to keep counting them down.